How you doing, guys? This is Anthony here from DIY Auto Tech, coming to you here today with another tabletop review of a fine Smith & Wesson revolver. Let's see if you can put some of the pieces together. Looks like we got a couple 57 Magnum rounds here. Smith & Wesson box. Looks to be a J-frame and a big old... Look at this bad boy. Must be a big barrel on that gun, huh? It's possible. That's a big holster. Nope. We're messing with you. These bullets do not go to this gun, that's for sure. We're going to be reviewing a Smith & Wesson Model 63 22lr Revolver today. We're going to safety check this firearm. There it is right there. Great gun. Let's get into some of the basics. So like I said, we got the Smith & Wesson Model 63 22lr Revolver. Same video. Gun has been safety checked. It's a very nice little stainless steel revolver. Barrel is just over 3 inches. This is basically, you can't really call it a kit gun, but this is the bigger brother to the Smith & Wesson Model 317 kit gun, which is a aluminum alloy frame and cylinder with a steel sleeve insert for the barrel. And that gun weighs a lot less, but the reliability is just not the same. So I went ahead and went with this Model 63 with the stainless steel. It's literally the same gun, just with a different metal composition. It's a great little gun. I've had the pleasure of shooting just over about 300 rounds through it, probably. I'd say about 300 rounds of 22lr, and it's held up pretty nice so far. It's a fun gun. It's pretty accurate. I'll show you these cool sights. It's got that red dot front sight, as you can see there. We'll do a little close up, and then it's just a rear square notch rear sight. The hammer and trigger assembly are all forged pieces, which is really nice. If you want to call them battle hardened, serrated, and the hammer is not fully exposed, as you can see. It's just the tail end of it, which is cool. It tucks away very nicely in the single action form right there. And then we're just going to lower that back down. Never dry fire a 22 rimfire, you guys. So what to say about this gun? Well, it's been a blast to shoot. The little J-frame grip is really nice. Fits really smooth. And one thing you can do if you want something a little nicer is you can buy a Hogue monogrip for it. And you know, a J-frame is a J-frame is a J-frame basically. So if you want to, you can buy a Hogue monogrip for it. I bought it. I didn't really like it. The grip was so big that it made the gun look tiny. But I mean, you can see how it would fit. It's just a much larger, heftier grip. So, I didn't really like it. I kind of like the small grip. It's a small gun, doesn't have a lot of kick. So the small grip is cool, kind of wrap your hands around it. Shoots 22lr. You know, you can buy a big box of this. Got 330 rounds for 15 bucks here. And I got 555 rounds of this for 20 bucks. So, you can have a great day at the range for, you know, about 10 bucks basically. You know, it is double action, so we're going to go ahead and just load up a couple rounds here. These are a long rifle. Eight shot capacity, which is cool. Fun little plinker gun. Pretty nice. I did encounter some problems with this gun at first. After firing about 100 to 150 rounds, some of the rounds actually started sticking inside the cylinders here. And the reason being is because 22lr brass is inherently thin and weak. So what this stuff does is after after the cartridge has been fired, the brass will expand in those cylinders. So then all the brass kind of tightens up a bit, and because it tightens up, you can't push the extractor rod to expend the spent rounds. So when it starts getting hot, you'll try and push this and nothing will happen. And you kind of got to like push it on the edge of the shooting table or something like that. You got to use a little more force than you can with your fingers. So it's not a big deal because I only like to shoot about 100 to 150 rounds out of this anyways. I don't like to shoot like 500 rounds through a gun without cleaning it and that kind of stuff. Another thing with this gun is this top strap here was really loose when I got the gun. I don't know if they don't use Loctite or something on there. They probably should, but after about 200 rounds of shooting it, this screw came undone and started backing out, and this whole rear sight, I could move it around a good 1/4 of an inch, and I was wondering why my shots were so far off, and once I tightened it back up, my group started getting a lot better. So, you know, that it's a good gun. Every gun's going to have a couple, you know, small flaws. One thing I don't like, and you can't really see it in the camera, unfortunately, but that front sight, that red dot, would be a lot nicer if the rear sight had a higher sight picture. That sight picture is so short, as you can see. It doesn't have like a high visibility rear sight. The problem is that when you actually sight this thing in, half of the red dot is exposed, not the full dot, so it kind of messes with your eyes a bit, and you tend to shoot high with it. And that's not just me, that's been a couple people that I've shot with. So I'm going to have to adjust this sight up higher so that everything looks correctly, because you want the top of the front sight and the top of the rear sight to align normally, but with this red dot, you start getting in your head that you want the dot to be centered, and then the gun will shoot high. So that's just one thing I didn't like about it. But overall, it's a really fun revolver. You know, it is shorter, so when you do the double action pull, it's kind of got a heavier trigger because it's 22. So your shots kind of go, I wouldn't say all over the place, but you gotta get used to 22 double action. Single action, it's a dream to shoot. It's really nice. Again, I'm not gonna pull the trigger for you guys because it is bad to dry fire a rimfire revolver. But I mean, that's my review. It's a great little gun. Shoots this plentiful little 22lr cartridge, which is super cheap. And it's a great gun to learn and to get sighted in and to kill your flinching. 22s have always been good as starter revolvers or starter pistols, or even just the first gun you shoot while you're at the range to kind of get rid of the jitters, to get rid of that well, I know you guys know what I'm talking about, that flinch. So should you go out and get this gun? I don't know. I mean, it's fun. I like it. It's pretty pricey. And if you just want to shoot single action, you might as well get a Ruger single 6 or a single 10. All my other revolvers are Rugers. I have 3 other revolvers and this is my only Smith. I like the Rugers better, but that's just me. So if you want a really good 22 to plink with, very, very accurate plinking, I would go with the Ruger single 6 or the single 10. But if you want something just to have at the range, indoor range day, just to plink some targets with, then this is a great gun. It's fun. It's going to cost you about $700, which is, whoa, I know, pricey, but they're hard to find used. People hold on to them for a reason, so if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I'll try and get back to you. It's been another video from Anthony at DIY Auto Tech. We'll see you guys next time.